portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Murder accused Kofi Goodman's attorney today accused a prosecutor of inappropriate behavior during the trial.
Fern Carey tells us what the prosecutor is accused of doing.
Scenes of crime investigator Denria Johnson took the stand again during the Kofi Goodman murder trial, allowing Goodman's attorney Jeffrey Farquharson to continue cross-examining her for a fourth day. Farquharson asked the officer, based on her training as a crime scene investigator, if she had been taught that crime scenes can give clues as to the identity of the perpetrator. Johnson responded that she could not generalize about a crime scene and had been taught to keep an open mind. But Farquharson pressed her again, asking if she had been taught during her training that crime scenes can hold clues as to who committed the crime. Johnson admitted that it had been included in her training. However, she said crime scenes hold many clues. Farquharson also asked Johnson if she had been instructed to examine a crime scene to see if it revealed the method of operation of someone who is familiar to the police. However, Johnson said she could not answer the question the way it was put, as she is not a crime scene analyst, prompting Farquharson to note that she had not answered his questions. Nevertheless, he continued the line of questioning, asking Johnson if she was also taught that there were features on a crime scene which point to a particular perpetrator. Before Johnson could answer, however, Farquharson accused lead prosecutor Gavin Gaskin of making facial gestures at Johnson, who was still standing in the witness box, prompting Gaskin to immediately refute the allegation. Justice Bernard Turner also asked Farquharson how he was able to see Gaskin making gestures at the witness, as Farquharson was standing behind Gaskin at the time. Justice Turner also wanted to know what the facial gestures were, telling Farquharson he had made a serious allegation against Gaskin. Justice Turner then excused the jury to allow a discussion to take place with both sides, and when they returned, he adjourned the matter to Wednesday at 11 a.m. Fern Carey, ZNS Network News.
The Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas, UTB, has a new president. He is assistant professor in the School of English Studies, Mark Humes. Elections were held on April 11 to find a successor to Jennifer Isaacs-Dotson, who stepped down after 9 years of leadership. Humes and associate professor in the School of Chemistry, Environmental and Life Sciences, Bridget Roll-Hogg, vied for the top post. Of the 188 faculty eligible to vote, 136 turned out for the poll. Humes secured 95 of the votes.
We're going to continue our work in, fostering good industrial relations with the college, building bridges. But in addition to that, I'm hoping that with the union, what UTB can become as an organization that provides opportunities and avenues for faculty members in light of the fact that, we've been pushing for these things with the college, but in the event that the college is not able to do it, we're going to see how we can use the organization to open up doors, open up avenues for our faculty members to display their various gifts and talents and abilities to the community.
Isaacs-Dotson is now the Vice President of External Affairs. She talks about why she stepped down now and what she attempted to accomplish during her tenure as president.
I feel it's important that you bring new persons into the union and then try to encourage particularly young persons, because you need them to carry on the work of the union when you have moved off the scene. My main agenda when I came into office was to improve relationships between the college's administration and the union, for the union not to be seen in an adversarial role. And I think that is something that we must continue to work on, because we all work at the same institution, and we at the College of the Bahamas should be setting a role model for what industrial relations should be in a workplace.
In other news, the government has announced 2 critical initiatives for students with special needs.
Education Minister Jerome Fitzgerald says the government will spend more than $1 million this summer to transform the Our Ladies Catholic School into a special needs education center. Our Ladies is one of 2 Catholic schools which will be handed over to the government this September.
We will focus on research and training and accommodate over 100 students there. We intend over the summer to spend over $1 million in renovations to ensure that it's compatible to special needs children. It is an extremely important and critical advancement on behalf of the Bahamas and we anticipate that it'll be the envy of this region, and we'll use that to catapult us even further as we understand the special needs challenges that we have in our country.
Mr. Fitzgerald says his ministry will also be making adjustments to the College of the Bahamas' Bachelor's of Education curriculum to include special education. The announcement came during a special ceremony marking the 10th anniversary of the Bahamas-Cuba Education Partnership for Special Education.
The second initiative is that at the College of the Bahamas, with regard to the Bachelor's of Education, there is not now a component in the Bachelor of Education course that deals with training for special education. And so we are working now along with representatives from the Cuban government, Cuban Ministry of Education, to ensure that we adjust our curriculum in the Bachelor of Education COB so special education will be included. So when teachers come into the training profession now, they will have an understanding of the special needs and understand intervention methodology.
In news from the Senate, legislation to rename the public holiday Labor Day is one step closer to becoming law. Already, parliamentarians in the lower house of Assembly have agreed unanimously on the name change from Labor Day to Randall Fox Labor Day. Senators heard the first reading of the bill yesterday ahead of a debate on Thursday.
Still ahead tonight, major moves in the boxing ring. Find out more coming up.
Also ahead in Family Islands news, a major expansion on one island. We'll tell you all about it. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. The Bahamas is the destination of choice, at least for most affluent luxury travelers from the United States. It ranked first among the most visited island destinations, according to a new study released by Resonance Consultancy in collaboration with the Luxury Institute. The Resonance report on affluent travel and leisure surveyed more than 1,200 affluent U.S. households with incomes of $150,000 plus to understand their plans for travel, recreation, and the purchase of vacation homes in the next 12 to 24 months. Meantime, the Bahamas welcomed approximately 5.8 million visitors last year, a 6% increase over 2011 arrivals. The western section of the island looks like the place to be as realtors for the Venetio boast that it should be completely sold out in the next few weeks. In fact, this past weekend's open house was said to be very successful with 8 letters of intent inked. The Venetio is the latest offering of Adventure Development Group, which demonstrated real estate success with its Hampton Ridge properties. That was the second open house hosted in recent weeks. And some of the biggest names in the gospel industry will bring a much-needed financial injection into the economy over the next few days during the star-studded One Love Getaway. One Love is usually a cruise experience that will take to land, this time as organizers see the Bahamas as an ideal destination. The event, slated for May 2nd through 5th, will welcome guests from around the world to listen to sounds like Mary Mary, Shirley Caesar, James Fortune, and a host of other performers. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.